You have a label Padega India. Now, what is this? You're encouraging consumers to scrutinize food labels
Yeah.
for unhealthy ingredients, right? Or excessive use of a certain ingredient beyond what it should be.
Yeah.
Right? Which could become harmful.
Yeah.
So explain what is Label Padega India.
So Label Padega India is a campaign which I came up with right after like I had a major controversy. And the idea is it's very simple. If you get millions and millions of people to start reading labels, companies will have no option but to market themselves honestly and give us better quality ingredients. So it's just a movement by the people to be more aware of what you're consuming, read the label, know what you're eating, know what you're putting inside your body and the bodies of your children. That is Label Padega India. And just imagine if more than 50% of India started reading labels, the biggest companies will not be able to lie to you because now they have no option but to they won't be able to say they make it taller because people will read the label and they'll realize, oh, this has 50% sugar. So that is the entire thing. It kind of indirectly or directly forces the companies to be honest. And I'm very proud to say that there are several newspapers which wrote that after Jago Grahak Jago, this is the second biggest consumer awareness program in the history of India. And Jago Grahak Jago is a government initiative.
Yeah.
This is literally started by an individual or
Just you.
I don't want to say it myself, but yeah, it's so that is, I think, an amazing and so encouraging because there are so many small businesses which have thanked me. Now they are using Label Padega India as their slogan. Ki label padega India, tabhi to sahi product chunega India. Because just imagine, on one side we have these MNCs with high budgets, high marketing spends. They get the best Bollywood actors and things like that to promote their products. On the other hand, these small businesses which are clean, they don't have a marketing budget which nearly comes as close to that.
Yeah.
So they need a movement like this so that people start buying their products.
They know what they are. If they want to eat unclean, that's fine.
That's fine.
But
I myself also sometimes have junk. It's like some people have a misconception that I don't touch anything. I myself also do that. But that's a choice.
Yeah.
The problem is when you kind of cheating the customer. So that is Label Padega India. And one more thing if I want to add is that very, very sadly, about only every single packaged food in India, the ingredient list and the nutrition label is in English. And less than 15% of India, if I'm not wrong, can read English. So you're basically saying that the labels are applicable only for 15% of India. But what about someone who's not strong in English? First of all, these font size of the labels are like font 5, font 6, very tiny.
Yeah.
So, and plus it's also in English. So why can't it be such that in Maharashtra you use it in English and Marathi? In cities, based on states, basically you also add the state language.
Yeah.
So there are many solutions behind it, and I feel like the government also can do certain things about it. And I have some solutions myself, like, you can have a scanner where you scan and you'll get in your own language. So there are like many solutions possible because...
Tech-based solutions possible.
Tech-based solutions.
Doesn't have to be expensive.
Doesn't have to be expensive, but there should be some laws which mandate stricter labeling, front of package labeling, having warning signs.
What is front of package labeling?
So...
Yeah, we have some products here.
Yeah.
I've obviously we
Can I
have.
take it out?
Yeah. So we put tapes on it so that we don't want you to not buy a particular product. We just want to show you just random products without the brand names on it. Those have been redacted.
Okay.
So just want to.
Can I just tell one message?
Yeah.
To all the companies, legal notice भेजना है तो इनको भेजना मेरे को नहीं. Anyway.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good one. So basically we've redacted the brands. I just want you to tell me now what is the problem with, say, if you see any reel, any doctor, they'll say maida mat khao, white bread mat khao. So nowadays people know कि white bread नहीं खाना चाहिए. Right?
But problem है कि brown bread में भी क्या issue है वो लोग.
हाँ. So now you pick up एक करके tell me what is the issue
I'm
with.
carefully picking up brands because there are some brands here.
Which is obviously पता लगता है.
पता तो सबका लगता है but कुछ brands के साथ बहुत major issue हो गए हैं. So I'm not even allowed to speak about certain brands. So I'm like not picking those up.
Well, the
Okay.
idea is also not to destroy them, but to make them correct the way that they are doing.
Exactly. I'm joking.
Yeah. Okay, so let's start whichever one you wanted. And tell me how we should be checking. And it's not as if we should reject the product, but we should make the makers of the product aware that they need to change what they're doing. So front and back में क्या था आप कह रहे थे?
Yeah. So
Right.
This is the front pack.
Okay.
So this product is saying refreshing and tasty. Earlier it used to say, like till even 6 months ago, it used to say vitamin C. So now I'm happy that they are changing and they're not making a health claim.
It doesn't have vitamin C.
It does have some vitamin C, but earlier they were making a very bold claim on vitamin C. Now they are just not marketing that aspect. They're just marketing it as tasty, which is good.
Okay.
They still have no artificial flavors here and a big picture of an orange. So when you see a big picture, I'm asking you, how much orange do you think this has when you see a big picture of an
So here I would say that 40% of the packet is covered with that orange. So technically I expect 40% of that, the powder inside that should have orange.
Yeah. And the reality is 0.9% of it is orange fruit powder. So less than 1% is orange. And this has 93% added sugar. And if 93% added sugar per 93% added sugar, and if 93% of added sugar is not sweet enough for you, don't worry. They also have an artificial sweetener on top. So the sweetener 955, which is sucralose, which is the same sweetener which they often put in like Coke Zero and like things like that. So many parents will ask their children, don't consume diet soda. But they'll give this to their child every day after the child comes back from school. So this is the problem. It has 93% sugar. It has an artificial sweetener on top. Plus, it has color 171, which is titanium dioxide, which is banned in many countries because if it consumed in very large quantities, it can be damaging to you. So in many Middle Eastern countries and European countries, it is banned. So this is again like one product. So when you say there are so many products, or most of these products here, they market themselves as everyday products. If you see their television commercials, they this particular product used to say something connected to water, that if your child does not drink enough water, why don't you give them this product?
Yes.
So they market themselves as everyday products, not as like a once in a while products. Like this particular product also,
A chocolate spread.
They market themselves as a breakfast. This is not a breakfast, this is a dessert. This is a dessert which you can have once in 2 weeks or like once in a while, not every day. But because of the marketing, people have this often every single day. The same thing with
टोस्ट के ऊपर डाल के सुबह खा लो और फिर स्कूल चले जाओ.
हमेशा एडवर्टाइजमेंट में बच्चे को दिखाएंगे, एंड सिर्फ बच्चे को नहीं दिखाएंगे, बच्चे को दिखाएंगे स्कूल यूनिफॉर्म पहनते हुए. क्यों? क्योंकि they want the parents to give it as a part of their school daily routine. They want it to make it a part. They don't show normal clothes, because if it's normal clothes, you can give it to your child anytime. But if you show a school uniform, the parents will make it a part of the school habit, routine. So the same with the jams that are there in the market, people give it every day. School ke tiffin mein jam.
And jam is bad because?
It is 70-80% sugar. So
very little fruit extract as such. Better to give a slice of fruit than jam.
Exactly, of course. And they write fruit power and power of 8 fruits and things like that. So a lot of parents will think that this actually is like, it's a fruit that they're giving to their child, but they don't realize it's just sugar.
And also there's a lot of peer pressure. If one child has that chocolate spread on toast every morning because on TV he has seen it or she has seen it, and the ideal smiling mother applying chocolate spread and giving it on a toast, and then he or she who's a 5-year-old looks at their own mother and उसने एक apple का slice रख दिया. Obviously, bad mother giving me apple, good mother on TV gives chocolate spread. You know what I mean? I'm talking in terms of how a mother is perceived
100%.
by a child.
And if the child is also, not having that apple as much, then you'll be like, a child, just give all the other children are eating this chocolate spread, why don't I just do this? So, but of course, there are like those connotations with parenthood and motherhood and things like that attached to it. So they market a lot to mothers. 100%, like you will always see a mother in the advertisements.
But haven't schools started telling parents not to give fast food in the tiffin boxes and all?
Less, very less. I'm having some campaigns. I speak in schools very often, and we are beginning a campaign called Canteen Sudharega India. So even school canteens.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Canteen Sudharega India.
Yeah.
Please, can you start with our canteen? As I'm speaking, I'm sure वहाँ पे हो रहा है वो कद्दू वाला ketchup खाए जा रहे हैं. Ketchup. Tell me about ketchup.
Okay.
Here,
we
there's
have
fresh
ketchup.
yeah.
So
Fresh tomato.
fresh tomato ketchup. So you have a picture of a farmer. You see so many tomatoes here, 100% real tomatoes and things like that. They are fresh tomato ketchup. So when you see the word fresh, you think it's fresh. And behind or out here, they have the line, this is only a brand name or trademark and does not represent its true nature. So they've trademarked the word fresh. So there are companies, this has trademarked the word fresh. There are companies which can trademark fresh, healthy, ORS.
So nobody else can sell tomato paste with the word fresh tomato?
Most likely not, because they've trademarked
And
it.
the thing that you just read out is in such small lettering that you can barely read it.
And on the side, so of course they won't have it here, they'll have it here.
So you have to turn the package to read it.
And also one very, very interesting thing. Usually earlier they used to have an asterisk sign in the out here.
That you have to read ki asterisk ka hai.
Asterisk sign. But now FSSAI has a rule, you have to put some symbol. So now instead of an asterisk sign, they put a tomato sign. And then they have a tomato here. So when you see a tomato, you'll think it's a tomato sign.
Yeah.
You won't bother that there is something.
A hashtag or an asterisk.
Yeah.
Then you'll see what is the hashtag or asterisk.
Exactly. Now earlier they used to have an asterisk or a hashtag. Then they moved to a beta symbol to complicate it a bit more. Now they moved to a tomato symbol. This is literally...
Also, there's so many tomatoes. So I would again say that this should have about 40 to 50% of tomato. Look at the number of... there are... kitne tomato hai? Isme, in the picture, there are at least 40 to 35 tomatoes.
Yeah, definitely.
So the presumption is that in every packet, about 20 tomatoes have gone in to make that paste.
Yeah.
Right?
So this has 28% tomato paste, which is... And then they have water, which is fine. And they have sugar, of course.
Why is there any need for sugar in this? Tomato paste में sugar की क्या ज़रूरत है?
वो complex question है. To be very honest, अगर आप sugar नहीं डालोगे तो वो taste नहीं आएगा. So I'm not again criticizing that aspect कि फिर it'll just be literally like a salsa instead of a...
Yeah, but what is happening is that because tomatoes are so expensive, people when they make gravies, they use this. When you chop a tomato and put it in your gravy, you're using fresh ingredient.
Yeah.
You're not using chemicals in that. But as soon as you use packaged products, you're adding preservatives.
Exactly. If I may add one more thing, earlier till 1990s or early 1990s, I would say, people would have ketchup mainly only with French fries. Now, after successful advertisement of all these ketchup companies, people have started having ketchup with samosas, with rotis, with pakoras. It's become a default, even in the sabzis, with their noodles. So the point is, if you see any advertisement of any of these ketchup brands, they no longer show the ketchup being used only with French fries. They show it cleverly being used with rotis and every day. So as a result, parents in India now are using ketchup in everything. आप कुछ भी देखो, उसमें ketchup है.
And mayonnaise, that's another thing.
Another thing,
All
mayonnaise.
street food has now squeezing mayonnaise on everything, from momos to whatever you want to eat. Dosas, you're eating dhokla, उसमें भी बीच में काट के ketchup and mayonnaise.
Exactly. So that is the challenge, that what was supposed to be had once in a while is being had every day because of the clever marketing. And again, ketchup is something which was a once in a week thing or once in 10 days, once in a month thing, and now it's an everyday thing. And that is the challenge, that junk food should be had once in a while, not every day.
Not even as an additive.
Yeah.
I mean, junk food, most people think कि हम burger खा रहे हैं, वो junk food है. But adding ketchup, adding mayo to everything is also eating junk. You're taking a consumption of junk food in every meal, literally.
Yeah.
If you're adding preservative-based packaged products. Am I right? Or
Exactly. You're 100% right. And I'll give you a funny example. In my home, my parents are now health conscious. So now instead of having fried samosa, they have baked samosa. And then with every bite of baked samosa, they have so much ketchup. I'm like, यार तू फ्राइड समोसा ही खा लो आप लोग प्लीज, बट एटलीस्ट केचप इतना मत खाओ. But yeah, anyway, you're completely right. The problem is we have made, like, people earlier till 10 years ago, we used to think restaurant junk food है, घर अच्छा खाना है. बट अब हम अपने घर को रेस्टोरेंट बना दिए हैं. हर मिनट 10 मिनट में डिलीवरी आ रही है कोई जंक फूड की अपने घर पे. हम लोग according to some statistics, we have in a month 8 or 9 meals in a month at restaurants. So if you have 3 meals a day, which is 90 meals a month, the remaining 81 meals you're having at home. So the problem, the reason why India is the diabetes capital of the world is not because of the 9 meals we are having at restaurants. It's the 81 meals in a month we are having at home, because at home we are having all this junk.
Point taken. Let me go into the noodles business. Of course, the nice mother is always dressed in a lovely yellow sari and she quickly makes it. 2 minute mein leke aati hu, 4 minute mein ban jayega. And fatafat noodles are presented as health food. And now there is atta noodles instead of maida noodles. And in the noodles that the mother makes, there are always vegetables in it.
Yeah.
Whereas in the packaged products, there are no veggies in it. Right? Now, you can just show me what is wrong with having atta noodles or whatever.
So, just from a marketing lens, once again, like I have studied marketing as well, so I always try to not only give a nutrition lens, but also a marketing lens. So, companies often will use a green color when they are trying to denote health. Because we signal, that gives a signaling effect that green is associated with nature, and so a regular noodle will often be yellow, but this atta noodle will be green, which is not necessarily wrong. I think that's the acceptable zone of marketing.
It's also people think कि vegetarian hai.
हाँ. So that is also there. So with atta noodles particularly, there is not significantly, it's like, they still are using atta, they're not using maida. Often with many bread brands, they claim atta or they claim whole wheat, but they're not whole wheat.
So ye jaise this one has a number of ingredients all around it. Why does a bread have to have so many ingredients?
Exactly.
I can't understand.
And one more interesting thing, if you see here, it's written brown bread. Okay. So brown bread, and if you see here, it's color 150A.
So the brown
it is
is
brown color. It's white bread with brown color. So it becomes brown bread. And
it's not wheat bread. It's not whatever other grain bread, but it is white bread with color in it.
Exactly. And that is the challenge. जब आप white bread खाते हो, एटलीस्ट आप 2 स्लाइस में छोड़ देते हो कि चलो ये जंक है, मैं उतना नहीं खाऊंगा. जब brown bread है, चलो 3 स्लाइस खा लेते हैं, because you think it's healthy. So that is the challenge. Color 150A is the same color as what they put in many soft drinks and many powders to make it brown, caramel color. So again, these are some of the challenges which is why I keep repeating the same line. Junk food pretending to be healthy is even more dangerous than junk food.
Namaste, Jai Hind. You're watching ANI podcast with Smita Prakash.
अगर हम उसको मस्जिद कहेंगे तो फिर विवाद होगा.
The issue is टूटा है क्या भारत?
400 पार का मतलब ये है कि संविधान खतरे में है.
क्या हम लोग ये निर्देश देते हैं कि फला को गिरफ्तार करके जेल डाल दें?
वही तो कह रहे हैं सब.
ये बेबुनियाद निराधार आरोप.
सच्चा सुनना चाहो देखो स्मिता प्रकाश ANI. It does not lie.